I'm back again, and I'm here to just talk more. I promise your regularly scheduled silly little June videos are, on their way. It's not something I forgot to do, okay? I can still have fun. But it's like, it's been a very interesting part of my life, because I've just been so thinking. I've been such a thinker lately, and I've just loved thinking. Some would even say I enjoy the act of philosophizing. It's not a word. I don't think it's a word. Is that a word? Put it up on the screen. See if it's a word. Or what's it, see if there's the closest thing to that. The act of being a philosopher. I guess maybe thinking. Well, I don't know. I'm doing this. I'm gonna take advantage of the moment that I have right now and to talk about what it's like living as a trans teen, and just such a weird era of, I guess, just the world as a whole. I feel like there's just so much hostility, and like just so much stagnation towards trans people for really no reason, and all of it just stems from a combination of religion and stereotypes that are just super incorrect. Like the really common, sorry, I had to burp. The really common caricatures of trans people where they're portrayed as like really ugly, and they have a lot of facial hair, and they just have like man boobs or something, and they're like drooling, and it's like, it's super gross. And it's exactly what it is. It's just a stereotype with no basis in real life. Simply just a tool that is used to look down on this group of people that makes up, that bull just killed itself, that makes up less than like a percentage of the population. Like, I don't even know. It's crazy how much there's just like this stigma around trans people, and it's not just like about trans people too, just like any person who is seen as, I guess, not conforming with the status quo or not conforming with what is considered by society as normal. And that's something that I've faced a lot, and that's something that I've noticed a lot firsthand. I would not say that I'm outwardly female, but I do say that I do dress androgynously and in a way that does not conform with my assigned gender. And of course, my voice is also something that people are, they just can't seem to be normal about, unfortunately. And that's just how it's been for a very long time, ever since I have gone to this new high school. It started just this year. And of course, I mean, it hasn't been that bad. I'm not gonna act like I've experienced the worst hate crimes of all time. No, it's just that, I can tell that some people, that's embarrassing. I can tell that some people think that I'm weird, and that they look at me in this certain lens where it's just like, yeah, you're definitely weird, and I don't want to talk with you because you're one of those people. And I mean, it's always a nice skill to have, to know when someone thinks of you that way, because then you're able to distance yourself from those people. It's super important as a trans person to be aware of kind of those red flags that certain people would say when they're, not accepting of trans people. There are, always the telltale signs. It's important to look out for certain things as a trans person, or even as like any queer person, just looking out for the things in people that would make it seem like they're unfriendly towards gay people or unfriendly towards trans people. Like, it's really, really important to know who you surround yourself with and know who you talk with on a daily basis. And as much as it sucks to say, that's just something that you have to do as a trans person, or I mean, like I said, any queer I don't know what I'm doing, any queer person, really. Like, a little realization that I've had in the past year and a half is that I choose the people that I surround myself with, and I have a choice. It's not like I'm just like forced to be friends with people. Like, I have a choice. I have the ability to put my foot down, and I have the ability to talk with people that I want to talk to. And so I think an important part, and this is just something that can go for anyone really, not just trans people specifically, is surround yourself with the people that you know that you like. Don't force yourself to be friends with people that you don't enjoy being around or that you know will just walk all over you. Because I've had that experience in the past. I've had horrible friends who were super inconsiderate, always walked all over me. And now that I've had to experience that, I want to ensure that other people don't have to experience it. Because truthfully, I feel like though that specific group of friends was, I guess, the cause for a lot of issues that I had experienced, or probably not caused, but it definitely amplified a lot of what I was feeling at the time with self-image issues and just gender dysphoria, just so many things that are really common when it comes to, oh my god, trans people. Be mindful of the people that you surround yourself with. And only surround yourself with people that you know that you can be safe with, and people that you can say for sure you are, you know, safe to be around. Don't settle for friends that you know don't value you. You are worth more than friends that just walk all over you and step all over you and are super mean to you for no reason. And it's especially common as a trans teen to experience a lot of just out of pocket name calling and bullying. And as much as it sucks, and as much as I would prefer that it just not happen at all, you will need to build a resistance, and you will have to be able to take the hits. Unfortunately, not saying that, you know, that's how it should be, but the best thing you can do whenever someone is insulting you is to not feed into what they're saying. Because, you know, obviously, oftentimes people are just looking for a reaction. Something that has always in particular kind of pissed me off is whenever there's some athlete boys who are obviously trying to get a reaction out of someone. And it's really easy to tell when these people are, like, they have social anxiety or they're neurodivergent in some way. Because I see myself in a lot of people who are deemed as weird, or deemed as, like, the quiet kid, or, like, the weird kid and stuff. Because I get it. I've been there before, and I'm still in that position. But the best thing you can do when someone is, you know, clearly trying to just get a rise out of you because they think it's funny is to not feed into it. That's something that I've had to learn, and that is something that has saved me a lot of, you know, just worthless arguments. I know it's not worth my time, so why even indulge? That's always just been my philosophy with it. I mean, I guess not always, but more recently. So I think that one of the most important things is to know that you choose who you surround yourself with. And this doesn't go for everyone, obviously. I mean, it depends on a case-to-case scenario, but this is what I've experienced. I am fortunate enough to have other trans friends who are older than I am, and they have, you know, they're more versed in what it's like living as an adult trans person. I'm very fortunate to have those people because they're kind of like, I guess in a way like a parent to me, or just like a wise older sibling or something. It's always nice to get the advice from people who are older than me, and especially people who are trans and understand what it's like to be in the situation that, you know, any trans person would be, really. And if there's one thing that I have heard, it is that things will get better. And it has made me super, super hopeful for the future, which is not something that I would be saying a year ago. I mean, it's crazy how people change, but, you know, what the fuck? I thought there was a secret down there. Ever since I have been in this, like, really unfortunate depression slump, which started last year around this time, I have always tried to stay as hopeful as I can. And sometimes there are occasions where I will get the negative parts get a hold of me too much, where I start to lose sight of trying to stay positive. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to not be okay. You're allowed to feel a certain way. You're allowed to feel sad. But if you continue to wallow in just so much sadness, you're never going to get better, and that'll only make things worse for you. It is super understandable being upset, and many queer people have a reason to be upset. But you can't let it take over who you are as a person. If you indulge in that negativity too much, it'll only make you more sad. And of course, as is with many things, there's a balance, of course, because you can't just be optimistic all the time. Sometimes it's unrealistic to be optimistic in situations, and it's okay to be a little bit negative about situations, especially now, because I'm gonna be honest, shit's pretty bad. Kansas, awful state. You cannot go further into one direction. You cannot be super negative, but at the same time, you also cannot be super positive, because there is such a thing as, I forget exactly what the word is, but I guess toxic positivity, that's what it was. Or I mean, yeah, you're positive, but kind of gets to a point where you really just start to ignore all of the bad things and, you know, try to have a happy-go-lucky attitude about everything, which should not be the case. You should be able to realize when, you know, shit's bad. I understand that it's hard to really find much of a reason. I guess this is a bit, you know, a bit dark, but even a year ago, I would say that it was hard for me to really find a reason to exist. But something that has fueled me to continue living and will probably continue to fuel me until the day I die is spite. Living out of spite of, just in spite of everything that's been going on. I am existing in spite of a world that is trying to erase people like me. My existence is resistance enough against these people that don't see me as human and see me as, like, you know, subhuman and things like that. I want to be able to live in spite of everything. I want to be able to outlive all of these horrible politicians and horrible people who are saying these awful things, spreading harmful rhetoric and just incorrect rhetoric. Just like super incorrect, stereotypical rhetoric. This is something that is not new. I mean, it's happened a lot with a lot of other different marginalized communities. It is not just trans people, it's happened to gay people in the past before. A little earlier, I talked about how I have been talking to other trans adults who have chronicled the tales of what it's like living as a trans adult. And I've had one who has said that spite has fueled them for a very long time. It's fueled them through her teenage years and such. But she also told me that things do eventually get better. And it's nice to hear that after a year and a half of just being so hopeless and being so stuck in this mindset that nothing is going to get better. I know that there is a caveat to everything. I mean, as is with most things, that there is a caveat to me being trans, and I know that it will, I mean, likely cause issues in my family. And that is just something that I have accepted, and that is something that I am prepared to come to terms with. I realize that I know that I probably won't have much of a family to go back to once I'm further in life, simply because of just who I want to be, simply because I'm self-actualizing myself and being someone who I'm happier to be. I have came to terms with things like this, and I'm ready to face adulthood knowing that, I mean, I guess just knowing these things in general. And as long as I have people who do care about me, and as long as I surround myself with the people who accept me for who I am, I know that I will be okay. And of course, there's a lot of factors that go into it. I'm very fortunate to be able to dress in a manner where, you know, it's something, you know, more to the androgynous, maybe even a bit of the feminine side. I'm super fortunate to have access to the clothes that I have access to without my parents really, I mean, I wouldn't say batting much of an eye, but I guess not caring as much as maybe some others would. And so I do recognize that my circumstances are probably better than some other trans individuals. But that's not to say that you know, that's something I haven't experienced, because of course I have. I mean, I know what it's like to feel so much gender dysphoria that it feels like it practically is taking over your entire life and taking over your entire body. But I would be lying if I said that I wasn't a little bit lucky to be in the situation that I am in. I mean, of course, it really just is comparing two situations that are pretty shitty. Because, you know, like, in my case, it's also pretty bad. But in any case, I feel lucky to be in the position that I am. Especially having friends who support me. Having, just having the people to be open to about stuff like this. Or I guess not open to. I mean, I don't really talk to my friends this way because it's like, I mean, I don't really want to vent to them. This is just like a personal thing, like, unless we're really close, I'm not gonna do that. But it's nice to have friends that will listen to, you know, just things about yourself without judging you too harshly. If there's one thing that I know for sure, it's that it's reassuring to have people that I know actually like me for who I am and won't just walk all over me and, you know, don't care for my identity. And it's so sad that that's something that is not common. That's something that feels so bare minimum is really hard to come by. Like, yeah, of course I should probably respect this person because of who they are, but, you know, you'd be surprised. A lot of people aren't like that. And I know that is especially the case in, you know, a red state school. Which is very unfortunate, but there's really nothing I can do about it, at least for now. I will likely still end up going to college here in Texas, but will I stay here my entire life? Unless things get better, which I'm not too sure if they will within the next however long. It's a bit hard to say for sure, but hey, next election I'm eligible to vote. So that's anything that makes me feel a little bit more hopeful. And of course, I remain positive, but I still acknowledge that our government is the worst to ever do it. Really, just like foreign affair, economic policy, everything, just the worst to ever do it. It's baffling. Like 0 for 10, or probably more than that, honestly. They've done a lot. I hope that with how much of a dumpster fire this administration has been, that there will be, in some capacity, meaningful change soon. Because it is stomach churning to see just how much, all the awful things that have been going on in the world. And I really just want to return to a sense of normalcy. I think this is something that I've talked about to other people, is that I hate kids. Like, really, I do hate kids. And I don't know if I ever do want a family in the future. But if there's one thing that makes me want to have kids, is that I will give them a good life, and a life where they feel accepted, and a life where they feel loved. I want to give them that assurance that my parents never did. And hopefully that does come true in some capacity. I'm not saying that it will, because again, I don't know if I want to have kids. I mean, of course, I'm super young, so it's hard to say for sure. It's just another thing of like spite. What the fuck? Another thing of spite controlling so much of my actions, that I want to have children in spite of everything and give them a good life where they feel loved and assured and not judged. I think that living as a queer person is incredibly beautiful, that you were able to live the life that you are able to live. And I have some friends at my school who are probably bisexual or probably gay, but they're like, oh no, my parents wouldn't be accepting of me. And it's just like, you need to stand up for yourself more. That doesn't mean outright say anything to your parents. You can just not tell them anything, but you do not have to listen to what your parents have to say if it does not make you feel happy. You are your own person, and there is nothing that any parent can say to get in the way of that. They are not you. They're their own person, and you are allowed to be the person that you want to be. Don't let parents control you. I think it's important to respect authority, but if authority doesn't respect you, then, you know, you're kind of justified in not respecting them. It's a mutual thing. And I guess it's a concept that is super hard to grasp for a lot of parents. But I've been talking for quite a long time, and I think that is all that I really wanted to say for now. I had to pick this time because, of course, it's a time where my parents aren't here and I'm able to just say what I want to say. But I feel good, and I've said what I've wanted to say. I hope that whoever listened to this, whoever you are, that this changed your perspective on life a little bit, and hopefully made you a little bit more hopeful in life. Because I think that is, something that has been really hard to come by. Just trans joy in general, or just the ability for queer people to live freely and live happily. I hope that everyone has a good day. And okay, maybe not a good day. You can just don't have a bad day. That's what, just have an all right or better than all right day. Not all right. Don't go right. People are evil.